Thank you very much, Michael. And thank you all very much for sticking with the conference for the rest of the day. I know by the time we get to kind of 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, there's a real temptation to leave. But I know myself and my fellow speakers are very grateful that you're still here, because hopefully we've something positive to say to you. Before I start, though, what I'd like you to do, just to demonstrate something that I want to talk about, I want you all to stand up, please. Come on. Not going to hurt you, not going to cause you any damage, problems, anything. So if you just stand up, and then in a moment, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, and then I'm going to ask you to point to north. So close your eyes, please. Don't look around. And point in the direction that you think north is. Okay? I'm assuming you've all now got your arms pointed in one or other direction. Open your eyes. Okay? Perfect. I have no idea where north is, but you were all you were pointing in a direction that you wanted to go if you were going to go north. The title of this conference is A Vision for the Future. Undoubtedly, we have heard this last 2 days about the vision. Yeah, sorry, sit down. Do sit down. Sorry. We have heard about a vision, and everybody has been very clear about the vision for higher education. What we're lacking, or what I've perceived we've been lacking, is direction. How are we going to get there? How are we going to ensure a joined-up, effective higher education sector in Libya? So that's one of the things that I've come away with this afternoon or over the last couple of days. The vision is clear. The vision is clear for a high-quality, valuable higher education sector. But what needs to happen is a clear direction. And we've heard from a number of speakers over the last couple of days with ideas, with ways of going forward. And I think the next stage is really to clarify those ideas. One of the things that was spoken about by Dr. Suleiman is that we need that joined-up approach. And I'm delighted that actually we have a forum on higher education, but there's a session on vocational education, because it's my belief that you can't just look at higher education in isolation, or vocational education in isolation, or primary and secondary education in isolation. There's got to be a joined-up strategy. There's got to be a joined-up approach. There's got to be alignment between the whole education sector, and not just between the education elements, but also in business. And again, we've heard about the need of the skills of our young people in Libya and in the UK to be aligned with business needs and the direction the whole country is going. My organisation, the Training Gateway, supports that sort of development. We represent over 2,500 British universities, colleges and private training providers. And what we offer is a joined-up approach. So if we go out to meet people in a country, to talk to governments, to talk to key organisations, we're not just talking about one element of higher education or one element of education. We try to engage in the whole sphere of education and economic development. That I think is something that we need to keep doing. And what I want to encourage people in this kind of just a couple of minutes that I'm speaking is the fact that the UK has experience. We've gone through 200 or 300 years of developing our education system. It's by no means perfect, but we have learnt lessons along the way. And one of the key ones has been to ensure that alignment with business and that alignment across the whole of the education sector. So I think that for me has been the learning from this conference. The vision is very clear. How we go about it is still in development. And I think the British organisations represented here all have a part to play. And it's not just about higher education, it's about education systems, and it's about a joined-up government thinking. There are barriers. We've done, as Michael said, we've done 3 trade missions out to the region, out to Libya, looking at corporate training, so engaging British businesses, British training businesses with Libyan businesses to address the skills needs. We've worked with British universities, working with the capacity building in the Libyan universities, and we've worked in the health sector as well, supporting the training of nurses and medics in Libya by again engaging with British training and education organisations. And partnerships have started to be developed, but there have been barriers. And I think one thing that's come through again in this conference has been the openness and honestness of both the Libyan participants and the UK. We know there are problems. There's issues for us about the stakeholders, the decision makers not necessarily being the budget holders, and the budget holders not necessarily being able to make the decisions. These are all issues that we need to address, that we need to look at in the future to ensure that progress is really made. We have a number of partner universities in the UK who've been working very hard over the last 3-4 years to work in partnership with medical associations in Libya and with universities and colleges and training institutions in Libya. The enthusiasm, the desire is there, but there's still a long way to go in terms of overcoming some of those barriers. So that's what I really want to leave you with, that there are organisations like my own, like UKTI, like others, who are able to bring together a whole range of organisations from the UK to work in partnership. We're not talking about kind of coming in and saying this is what needs to be done, but to work in partnership to really develop an effective, highly valuable, highly well-resourced but supportive education sector that meets the needs of your businesses as your country develops its own strategy for education, its own strategy for education, its own strategy for economic development. So thank you very much. I will hand over to my colleagues. I'm sorry, I have to dash to get a train back up north. But we have the vision, you have the vision is here in this room. There are people who walk away today with a vision and clarity about what needs to be done, but we need to make sure our direction is all in the same, well, we're all walking in the same direction and that we're aligned through all elements of education, including vocational and primary and secondary education, and that alignment is also to the needs of the business and the skills needs of the country. Thank you.